I'm Carl Pritchard, and today I want to talk to you about something near and dear to my heart, and that is I love my job. I really do, and I got to tell you, I have had every crap job known to humankind. I really have, and a lot of them, I have to say, there were plenty of times in my life when I did not love my job. I love my job, and it's a whole eye-opener the first time this happens to you. It really is. And the reason I say that is because as you learn to love your job, other people around you are like, oh, and I get this a lot when I'm speaking at conferences and stuff. I'll have people come up and I'll say, hey, thanks a lot for being here. And they'll go, you know what I want to do? What's that? I want to be you. I love that. That is some of the nicest feedback on earth. And the reason is because they see in the work that I'm doing joy and trying to find joy in the, what a lot of people look at as the pedantic, the dull, the boring. I mean, for crying out loud, I'm the risk guy. I mean, talk about something where people just look and go, shoot me now. That's one of the fundamental problems, the way we look at our jobs. This hour, we're going to talk about actually love your own job and to get others to love their jobs as well. And it does work in tandem. It's kind of it's the opposite of a vicious cycle. It's a beneficial cycle. It just goes up as you do this more. It's a wonderful spiral. It's a health spiral. And as we talk this through, I want to just try and emphasize to you, none of this is beyond the pale. None of this requires that you have some magic bullet, but it does require that you be the magic bullet. And that's kind of the challenge that a lot of us face, is actually getting to the point where we feel like we genuinely, truly, honestly, and completely love our jobs. It goes to this. Frederick Hertzberg, social theorist, and he was the one who said very famously, money is not a motivator. Now, we've got about 150 people on the call right now, and I'm sure at least one of you is going, Carl, that would be crap. Money's a huge motivator. No, it's not, actually. Money was what Hertzberg referred to as a hygiene factor. Now, a hygiene factor is not the same as a motivator. Hygiene is what you need to feel like, well, I'm getting what I just genuinely need. I'm getting just the bare bones basics. I'm getting the essentials here. And that goes to a simple question. Now, you have, in this tool, in WebEx, you have a little hand-raising function. And what I'm going to ask you to do is I'd like you, if you feel like you make an honest day's pay for an honest day's work, that you're getting a decent salary for what you do for a living, I'd like you to raise your hand, if you would. I'd like you to raise your hand. You have the ability in the tool to go ahead and do that. Okay. Nice, I really do. Now, we've got... Rita says she makes an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. Terry says she makes an honest day's pay for an honest day's work. So does Brad, and so does Norman. There are a lot of people out there saying, hey, yes, I do, Carl. I make an honest day's pay. About a third of you have already raised your hands in that regard. Now, what that means is money is not going to get you out the door. Money is not going to make you show up at work. And since we as project managers don't have the ability to give anybody any money, it actually works in our benefit that Hertzberg's right. Money is not what's going to get people gung-ho. What gets people gung-ho is what Hertzberg referred to as the motivators. Motivators are not the basics. If you don't have the basics, and this is something Hertzberg was dead right about, and those of you who didn't raise your hands, you're having troubles with hygiene. And when he was talking about hygiene factors, that's what he called them, things like pay. If you're having trouble with hygiene, it has virtually nothing to do with your motivation. It has to do with just feeling like I can't even get out of bed in the morning. You have to be doing the basics right first. No, attaboy, nicely done, well done. Ekaterina, nice job. Well, none of that is going to get people gung-ho. Zero. You can't do it with just cheering people on. First, have to have hygiene. They have to have a basic level of pay. And the 50 people who said, yeah, I'm making an honest day's pay for an honest day's work, kudos to you because you're motivatable. You can be motivated. per Hertzberg. And that's something important about loving your job. You have to feel like you're covering the basics. You're covering the basics. And, I've had weird jobs that I've actually loved and weird jobs that I've totally hated. Roofing, I was a roofer for a while, hated it, completely hated that job. But I was a dishwasher for a while, and you know what? Being a dishwasher at the Country Corner Restaurant in Columbiana, Ohio, it's no longer there, but being the dishwasher there was cool. And being promoted to senior dishwasher / assistant cook was even cooler. I was jazzed about that job. I was. Why? Because they saw value in me. The thing was, at the time, I was making as much, if not more, than all the other dishwashers. Now, first off, I had hygiene. Ruin hygiene for somebody? Start telling them that the idiot down the hall, the guy you've always been amazed can even suck a breath, makes $20K a year more than they do. That will demotivate somebody like that. It'll take them down very, very fast. But somebody motivated, give them an honest day's pay for an honest day's work, and then start looking at what gets them jazzed, what gets them excited. And that's one of the big problems is different people have different things that make them excited. What I get excited about and what you get excited about are probably wildly different. I get jazzed playing around in my garden with my tomatoes. Yeah, buddy, that to me is actually a good time. Dirt under my fingernails is a good time. Some people would look at that and go, oh, dirt under my fingernails is something to be removed. Well, that too. But it goes to, if you're talking about how to motivate yourself as well as others around you, you've got to figure out first what gets you going, what gets your blood flowing. Kind of interesting, my youngest son, for his 18th birthday, came home and said, I know what I want for my birthday. And it was, what's that, James? I want to go skydiving. I was like, really? Hop out of a perfectly good plane. He was like, yeah, it'll be cool, it'll be great. And that was a compelling moment to watch because he came home like, so how was skydiving? And he goes, Dad, do you have any idea what happens when you jump out of a plane? I said, no, I can honestly say I do not. And he goes, you fall! And he said, and for the first 5 seconds, you are so sure you're going to die, and then you don't die. And it's very, very cool. And he was just rattling away at the speed of light. Compelling to listen to. Because here I saw somebody who was genuinely motivated. Somebody who was loving his life. Somebody seizing a day. Why? Because he had stepped out beyond his existing capabilities. Now, for all of us, that takes a wildly different look. For everybody, it does. It looks radically different. And just think, now, excuse me, I need the sounds of angels in the background. Yeah. But what would the job look like? And take a look at this laundry list. Take a list. Ask yourself, which ones actually have some direct influence over? I can't grow. Nobody's going to make me a VP unless... Notice, growth does not mean moving up the food chain at the office. Growth is growth. It's growing yourself. It's stepping out beyond boundaries. It's jumping out of the plane. It's doing something you didn't know you could do 10 minutes ago. This is part of what you have to do, and this is actually, now, what I would like to ask you to do as part of this, I'd like a sheet of paper or just someplace, a notepad, just a notepad